our studio in Newport Beach, California. Welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. Chab Dog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from Sports Rock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, Chab Dog.
Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's business and transactional legal needs, as well as estate planning. And by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your headier sports headlines and biting sports commentary. Check us out at chabdog.com and on Facebook. Type in Chab Dog. All right, well, this is the Nurse Yourself Back with some Lavoris and Cloris show. We're going to pay some tribute to Cloris Leachman, who died recently at the ripe old age of 94. Eric, do you want to live to 94?
Hey, Chab Dog.
And hello to my co-host Eric Sauve, our production whiz, production guru, and yeah, that's a pretty nice age to live to. It's hard enough, though. I mean, I can't imagine what I'm going to feel like at 90. I'm already 55, and that can be kind of rough.
Well, as long as you get a good stiff woody, I think you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, well, the supply of wood is not running out, thank God. Haha, just kidding. But I went on a bike ride yesterday, and I came back, and I was surprised how kind of sore I was. Mm-hmm. Your body just loses its. The older you get, it gets harder to recover from these things.
Yes, it does. And when was the last time you'd gone for a bike ride? Was that the week previous while there was a football game on?
Yeah, I think I went once the week before, but it's like been it's been a little less often than it used to be, and if you don't keep training your body the same way, you pay the price,
Precisely. It really is important. Hey, a public service announcement here from the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. It's very important to get some kind of daily exercise. If you can't go every day, then go every other day. But regularity is the key. And if you skip a week, then
Yes, regularity is very important. I totally swear by regularity. You got to keep that routine going that gets you through the day, doing things on time, right?
Correct. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be intense. You don't have to be straining yourself every frickin' time. It doesn't have to even be every day, but every day is just like a half hour every day or a half hour every other day. But just doing it every other day. Just don't miss a day. Don't miss a beat. That's the key.
Yeah. Like you, right?
Like me sometimes, but then when I miss a beat, oh man, yeah, I'm just healing up an injury because I took some time, changed my schedule, wasn't going as frequently, and it just doesn't take long. Yeah, I had some hip muscles just go a little soft on me and put things out of place and out of alignment. All of a sudden, I got sciatic nerve hurting. It was insane, but now I can exercise again, and I'm back at it, and just taught me, never again.
Yeah, because you were on a. You do a lot of. You still do a lot of running on the beach.
Yes. And on
Good
the beach,
for you.
Yeah, that's. Because the sand is everyone. You run on the street and that's great too. But you go on the sand, it's a little bit harder, but it's really good for your muscle development there, especially the sinews and tendons and how they bond to the bone. They bond to the bone stronger. If you can, again, it's not going running on the beach once, it's not going to do much good for you. But if you go relatively regularly, a couple times a week on the sand there, it's intensely good for your leg muscles.
Yeah. I don't have the willpower to run on the beach in my bare feet. It's more difficult, and I don't like running. Period. So making it more difficult to run is not going.
If you don't like running, you're not. This isn't going to make you like it anymore. Then you bike ride. Bike riding's great too. Bike ride, very good cardio, low stress activity, but you still got a lot of workout on the legs, and swimming as well. When the water gets warm here on the Pacific, we can go back in the ocean again. But for the last couple of years, it's been chilly. But swimming's fantastic. If you get access to a pool, that's great too. But we got a lot of good things. Big show here to talk about, buddy. We got news this week. We had the Baseball Hall of Fame to discuss, and the fact that they didn't put anybody in, which is kind of amazing. We had a blockbuster trade last night with the Rams. We got the reopening of California this week and the surprise. And then we have a guest, Fishback's coming on here a little later.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you want to start with? We could talk about the Goff trade, which broke late last night.
Yeah, maybe we'll save the Hall of Fame for when Brian joins us from Sports Rock.
Yeah.
We'll have a thing or two to talk about baseball. It'll be hard for me. We can talk some shilling until then, but let's start with
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's start with that trade last night. So, what time did you find the news? What time did you get that news?
I saw that last night at around 10. I think I saw it when I checked ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really look that closely at it, so I didn't understand all the picks that. What happened? The Stafford came to the Rams, and in exchange, the Rams gave the Lions Jared Goff's contract, God forbid, and a bunch of draft picks. Is that right?
Yeah, some first-round draft picks, 2 first-round and a second-round.
Yeah, wow. Well, they really wanted to get rid of that contract, so I guess they accomplished their mission.
Yeah, and why, of all places, why does Detroit land with that contract?
Because the Fords can afford it.
That sounds it. Okay, so even if
the
Fords, even if they could afford that contract, was that what was missing in Detroit? They were missing Jared. Is that the missing piece, and now they're going to be able to have make the playoffs, have winning seasons? Was this it, Chapdog?
That's the best they could do under the circumstances, and they felt like they had to do something. I guess it does kind of smell like a panic move or something.
It doesn't make any sense because it's not. They didn't need a huge contract. They didn't need a quarterback of that. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't think they Goff. I mean, what is there attractive about Jared Goff? I never got it when he played for the Rams. I never got it when they went to that Super Bowl and got creamed by Brady and Belichick. He got shut down. Mm-hmm. What is so great about Jared Goff? Did you ever get on the bandwagon?
Did I ever what?
Get on the bandwagon, the Jared Goff bandwagon?
He's a funny quarterback. Sometimes he looks like he's got his shit together, and that's what gives people the false impression that he's a quality quarterback as opposed to kind of a slightly better than average quarterback or average quarterback. I mean, I think he's about somewhere in the middle. He's just not. He doesn't stand out because the leadership quality is not there, and he's not the. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that you can count on to rescue you when you need to be rescued from the burning building. No, he's not. I got an add-on to that take that you take Sean McVay, the coach, and early on when they worked together, they did really well. And you can see, I think, what Goff is really good at being technical and carrying out the orders he has or the vision of the plays that McVay wants to run. And I think early on when those plays were more revolutionary, when they weren't, defenses hadn't had time to adjust, they got big yardage because Goff executed them very well.
and the defenses weren't ready for him. McVay had some wrinkles here that some innovation. He brought innovation to offense. Now fast forward now to the last 2 years, everyone's caught up. McVay's not innovating anymore. Defenses have measured up, and now Goff, he's still carrying out the plays, carrying out flawlessly, but now defenses are countering them. Goff doesn't have the wherewithal to be able to play, pull things out of his ass, because he's not that kind of quarterback anyway. And now he's getting criticism for not being able to be better, for not being able to pull things out of his ass when that wasn't even what was asked of him. And even Sean McVay was laying on him. And I thought, okay, my take is that's unfair. That guy did everything you want him to do. He played within the lines. He played your offense. Your offense failed to innovate. And now you're getting mad at the guy because he's not pulling plays out of his ass because your play calling sucks? Yeah. I put this on McVay.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really, when the Rams offense was going well, I never really thought it was that, totally attributable to Goff. I thought it was more the scheme was working. And, like you said, they were calling good plays, and the offensive line was completely in sync. Seemed like they in kind of their heyday, a few years ago, the offensive line was doing a lot of good shifts. The defenses were off balance, but that's not anymore. So, maybe it's sort of unfair, but that's all right. He's getting paid a lot of money. So
ownership obviously tipped its scale and put his thumb on the McVay side and said we're siding with him instead of changing the coach and keeping the quarterback, because one of them had to go. So instead they got rid of the quarterback.
Yeah, they're not. They like McVay. I guess he's still really highly regarded. They're not going to get rid of him anytime soon.
No, but he's what he was great at. He came from I watched him. He was in Washington. I watched him. Yeah, he got Alex Smith all tuned up. It was great. They had a good relationship together there in development, and then he moved on. From the accolades he got there, from getting the Washington offense fired up, he won the LA job, and he's young. Not to say he can't innovate again, but right now he's stuck in a rut. If he continues the way he's going, the team's doesn't matter who's the quarterback, team's not going to play any better. Hey, Chab Dog, we have a new guest on the Chab Dog Sports Talk radio show. Welcome, Brian Keller from Sports Rock has joined the line. Brian, how you doing today?
Hey, Brian Keller. Keller.
Gentlemen. Yeah, that's what they used to call me in school. Yes.
They call you that?
Oh,
you know why? Wasn't there a baseball player named Killer Keller?
Is Killer Kelly?
I'm not sure there was a Killer.
There was a famous baseball player named Charlie Keller. I don't know.
Yeah, Charlie.
Related.
No.
You know him?
I know of him. Yeah. And,
yeah.
I think
he mean player, as I recall.
I think you mean Helen Keller, Chab Dog.
Helen, yes, I always got that too. No relation there either. Nobody famous in my family.
It wasn't. Oh, bummer.
Well, there might be famous to somebody, but I think the closest I have to any kind of connections is my mother had a uncle who created some sort of process for raising or feeding chickens or something back in the 40s. And made a small fortune.
Mm-hmm. A process for feeding chickens?
Some kind of process he came up with had to do with raising chickens. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it was. But
it's big money.
Whatever it was, whatever it was, he earned. I guess the family had about $400,000 in wealth, which back then was a lot. But yeah.
Is that process patented or something?
I'm not sure. I don't know. See, my mom's side was not Kellers, so it's a different family name. So I don't even know if we could find out what it was. But I remember her telling me that when I was a kid, she had some small inheritance from them.
So,
Yeah.
Chab Dog, you remember
Yeah,
the
well,
story of Helen Keller? She was what, deaf, dumb, and blind? Was that the story? No, mute. Mute, but she didn't have. She couldn't see, could she?
Yeah, she had no communication capabilities whatsoever, basically.
oh yeah, she couldn't hear, she couldn't see.
Uh-huh.
Did you see the movie about her? Called a good movie called The Miracle Worker with Anne Bancroft playing Anne Sullivan, who was the woman that taught her how to speak.
Oh yeah, that's a old classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little confused what they told her in that movie after I think it was John Holmes put his large schlong in her mouth.
Oh, Eric.
Oh, I was going to call. I called in because I couldn't help but overhear Eric's take on the Goff situation.
Oh, yes, and I was just about to ask you about that. Please,
I think
Brian,
you're onto
talking
something.
local
I think
news.
you're onto something there with the McVeigh thing. That's kind of shitty what he did. He basically did.
Okay, so
Coach,
you see it.
The coach fed his quarterback to the Wolves.
Yeah, but I do like that Stafford's coming to the Rams. I mean, it's good for the Rams.
What?
Definitely.
Matt
you got
Stafford.
A veteran quarterback, so that should help. I mean, with that defense.
Well, let's talk about Stafford some. I mean, somebody put maybe it was you. Somebody put a statistic up there about how he's thrown for more. I think it's more. What is it? More yards and He's thrown for a lot of yards and touchdowns. But it doesn't tell the whole story. His winning percentage sucks, and doesn't he get sacked a lot?
I'm not sure about the sacks.
Yeah, I don't think it's an extraordinary amount.
Yeah, he has 45,000 passing yards and less than 150 interceptions, which looks good on paper. But yeah, his one-loss record sucks. It's like 44%.
And he gets hurt a lot. He gets hurt a lot.
He's gotten hurt a lot.
I know that.
Yep, he has. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's efficient. He's only 32, surprisingly. That's on the young side for having all those years. But I don't know. We'll see. I think he's obviously going to be more of a. I would expect him to be more consistent than Goff has shown the last couple of years. So, and with that defense, that might be all they really need there. Detroit got the short end quarterback-wise, but remember, they're getting 2 number 1 picks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's a good deal for Detroit? But they're getting saddled with that contract. So even if they cut Goff after a year, they got to eat the salary cap. And maybe they're in a better position to eat salary cap because they're Detroit. I haven't done my math. But still, who wants to get burdened with cap, especially for a player that you only had for a year?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, that's the only thing that I think that's the only upside for Detroit is getting those draft picks. And getting Goff remains to be seen,
I've got a theory that the owners they play cap games with each other, and in each team has to, at certain times, eat the bad salaries from other teams and take bad trades in order to bury those numbers so those other teams can move on.
Brings up an interesting situation there with Philadelphia and Wentz.
Yeah.
See what happens there.
Well, what about Deshaun Watson? I mean, you don't got to eat a big contract with him, but you can't tell me what Deshaun Watson wouldn't have been a better fit in L.A. Deshaun Watson wouldn't have been a better fit in Detroit.
Oh yeah, I think he would have been better for either one. Yeah, better for either one.
Yeah, I would have taken either of those. So why did they go back and why did Detroit and L.A. do that?
Well, I've heard that there's playing a game with Deshaun there in Texas, I guess. Not readily willing to let him go.
Who, the Texans?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's in a position where he might just refuse to play if there's nothing happening, so that's not going to work.
Yeah. What's the big problem for Deshaun Watson in Texas? he wants more money and they're not going to give it to him, or he's just sick of the place?
No, it's got nothing to do with the money. He's under contract. He's got a good contract. He's just sick of the place.
Yeah, he's just sick of the place. Yeah, it sounds like to me.
He's made requests
Don't
for
like
coaching and requests for support, and it just seems to. In the public media, which we have no idea what the truth is, it just seems they get ignored.
Yeah, because they looked like an up and coming 2 years ago, and then they just fell flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems on that team. I would love him to go to the Steelers.
Oh, speaking of the Steelers, it's too late. Who'd the Steelers sign
Washington
instead?
would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Who did the Steelers sign instead?
They have an aging quarterback, you know.
Yeah, but no, they picked up a quarterback this week.
Oh, they picked up Dwayne Haskins. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Like Chad,
That
It
reminds
might be the second coming of Kirk Cousins.
why?
That reminds me of a few weeks ago when I took Bingo on a walk, and I came home, and to my surprise, I found a lot of shit on my shoe.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins. Okay, tell me, somebody. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why did they pick up Dwayne Haskins?
Because they wanted to piss me off.
Okay.
They listen to my show.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, why? Because Mike Tomlin can do whatever he wants.
But of
Well,
course,
you
but
think
why
about
that?
that. They got the other kid who's, well, I don't know how much. They probably don't have a whole lot of confidence in
Mason Rudolph.
future.
And Mason, the red-nosed Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to
So
work.
they get a possibly potentially better backup out of Haskins.
Yeah, that's questionable. Maybe on certain days of the week, but
Like I said, a second coming of Kirk Cousins, maybe.
Well, Kirk Cousins is another Matt Stafford. He just puts up really good numbers in garbage time. He has a career of doing it. And so it looks like, oh, well, he passes for 4,000 yards a year. He's passed for 44,000 yards. Yeah, but never wins the games that he needs to win, never pulls the team together, never puts them on his back, and provides the leadership necessary at the pro level. It's garbage time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Brian, is this the first year that you can remember when they didn't allow anybody into the Hall of Fame, in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
It's happened before, but not in any time recently that I can think of. No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Veterans Committee comes in later or not with their picks.
Oh, this year there might be a Veterans Committee admission. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's happened before, I think.
As long as they don't find that the Veterans Committee was not acting in a sane manner, you know, sometimes when old people make decisions, they're not they don't know they don't understand what they're doing. Like if you're doing a will and you're not of sound mind, it doesn't count. So I hope all those old timers they're doing.
They said they had a controversy in the early 70s that they put in several questionable St. Louis Cardinals. Turns out the staff was loaded with former Cardinals personnel.
Yeah, the Cardinals have a way of getting their way, don't they? Who were those guys in the 70s that got him? Was it like Enos Slaughter? Is that who you're talking about?
I think Slaughter was one.
What about Red Shanedeans? Did he get in too?
Red got in. Yep. He was one of them.
Yeah, those
I mean,
guys,
he had a good career, and he was also a manager, but questionable. Yeah.
He wasn't spectacular. I mean, he was. What was he, an outfielder or a second baseman? I forgot.
He did second and short.
Oh,
infield. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of nice guy and a good player, kind of like
decent
Bill
defensive
Mazeroski.
player.
Yeah,
well, better than decent defensively, but yeah, hitting wise, nah, you know.
And Enos Slaughter was just famous for that turning that scoring on that single. And he
I thought also. Yeah, even later, most recently, Mazeroski getting in was a questionable pick.
Well, he's a Pirate, so he's allowed to get in.
He's allowed.
We don't have enough people in there. So he had that home run, but so Kurt Schilling just decided to take himself off the ballot, and
can he do that? Is that possible? Brian, can one just take themselves off the ballot? I don't think it can be done, can it?
I don't think he can. I mean,
so if he gets in
I don't think he can.
No.
If he gets in next year, then he's going to refuse entry.
Then he can decline it. Yeah, that would be interesting. He goes, screw you guys.
And why did it split so badly they couldn't even get one person elected this year?
Well,
why couldn't they get one person?
Yeah.
Just the way the numbers, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can even be voted in, right? So the people just that were shoo-ins or that are going to get in just weren't up this year.
Yeah, there's a 5-year waiting period. As far as Schilling, well, we know what the story and background behind all that, which is kind of shitty. But
yeah, that'll go down as.
He did get 74.1 or 0.2, so he was real close.
Well, I thought he ended up at 71%, but that could have been.
Or was it 71? Still, that's close. 75.
Yeah, no. But when they look at this and try to justify it, for me, it's wrong. I mean, I don't think politics should play a part in it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't
definitely
commit a crime.
A
There was nothing so heinous that it should mess up his body of work, which I think if you compare to, I was comparing him to Jack Morris, and there's people in there already that have similar numbers, and they should be consistent. What about like Mike Messina got in, right?
Yeah, Mike got in. Yep. Yep. And
he probably had more wins, but I don't know about the winning percentage. It's probably lower than Kurt's, and the postseason stuff just seems like a lot of times gets short thrift. They just don't like rewarding people that were excellent postseason players, but he was a great regular season player. So
you're exactly right. With Morris was a perfect example, perfect comparison. Excellent, very good, reliable regular season, and outstanding in the postseason.
Mm-hmm. And then Morris had 3 world championships, right? Or 2 or 3.
Yep. 2 or 3, 2 I think.
That's important. It shows you how significant somebody was in making a difference on the team and getting him through.
Yeah, and he was the winning pitcher, I believe, in both cases as well.
Deciding games.
Yeah.
So I like Jack Morris getting in, and I like Kurt Schilling getting in. I mean, Jack Morris's ERA was almost.
His ERA was borderline awful, but he got it done. To me, the ERA is overrated, and that, especially in the modern era. These guys, most of these guys are into 3.5 runs a game is considered good.
Yeah. If you're under ERA of 3.5, you're really pitching well, particularly recently.
Yep.
There aren't too many that can say that. So, so anyway, he's pretty pissed.
Now, all these other guys that are sitting there on the waiting list now who have been accused or caught cheating with the steroid error, the whole mess of them now just piled up there.
So that's what's
it's
choking
a big
it up.
log jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm losing respect, as I've lost respect for baseball itself over the cheating Houston Astros scandal and the Boston Red Sox that no one's talking about, by the way, but they also did the same thing. This is yet another black mark on baseball. That the way even the way that the whole voting system's set up is fucked. The people that they allow to vote and the politics that's entered the sphere. And why should it matter what the commissioner of baseball says in terms of who gets in the hall? I guess is the Hall of Fame, is that an MLB that's their business, and they can dictate who gets in or not, or who you can vote on, who you can't.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
This is wrong. There's another strike against them. I count 3 strikes now. Interest in baseball waning.
What was it? Oh, there was one right here that Brandon there's mentioned that he liked my little birthday post. There was a guy yesterday, Tony Moulin.
Oh, yeah.
284 and 220 with a 3.05 ERA back in 1800. Still not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a lot of wins to not be in the Hall of Fame. But when you pitched back then, I think things really get, wins get discounted, don't they?
Yeah, kind of, because there's, let's see, what is it there? Yeah, Clemens and a guy named Bobby Matthews, which was another interesting one, and Tommy John. Those are the only 3 pitchers with more wins that are not in the Hall of Fame. This Matthews guy is one of those guys that won like 297 and lost like 270.
Yeah, so he had a rubber arm.
Yeah, but poor winning percentage. Yeah, but this Mullane had a pretty decent, 284 and 220. They also said he could pitch with both hands.
Yeah, that was what I thought was he was double-fisted.
Switch pitcher.
Yeah, switch pitcher.
Never heard of one of them before.
Can you imagine doing it with both hands? Wow.
Yeah, like John Holmes.
Sometimes he would do it. Sometimes he would do it to the same batter.
Wow, talk about a mind fuck.
I know.
Because it was interesting because remember that's the time he played in the time when he didn't even have a glove. So he didn't have to worry about that.
Man's game.
So he could really make his decision at the last minute.
Yeah,
he didn't know what was coming.
Wow.
It's crazy, huh?
I call that a really impressive hand job.
I think that would be a good call for the Hall of Fame. I mean, here's a guy who pitches both hands.
Let's talk about Football Hall of Fame. Eric, I think should be in as a tight end is Robert Muldoon.
Yeah, I've got Robert Muldoon. Speaking of Robert Muldoon, here's Robert Muldoon.
I'm sorry. I mean, all I did was just touch her. Oh, it's all right. She can't bear to have a man's hand touching her.
Oh, she got problems.
Yes, she does.
I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to avoid being touched, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's why she's here. My name's Roberta.
I'm Garp.
You're Jenny's son.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I just finished reading your novel. I think it's wonderful. I adored it.
It is.
What happened?
Oh, it's all right. Garb just frightened Alice for a bit, but she's fine.
Mom, I'm sorry. All I did was just touch her.
It's all right, darling. It's all right, everyone. It's all right. Just go back to doing what you were doing before. Everything is fine. Barbara, it's all right.
Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
He's my son.
What's her problem?
She's an Ellen Jamesian.
What does that mean?
You don't know what an Ellen Jamesian is?
No, Mom, I don't. I mean, what's she taking, a vow of frowns or something?
What's all this? She has no tongue.
What do you mean she has no tongue?
I mean she has no tongue. It was cut off.
Oh, Christ, I'm sorry.
It was cut off on purpose. Because of what happened to a little girl named Ellen James. 2 men raped her when she was 11 years old. They cut off her tongue so she wouldn't tell anyone who they were or what they looked like. Some of these women formed a society in her honor.
I mean, this Ellen James Society goes around not talking as if they had no tongues.
No, I mean they don't have any tongues. The women in the society have their tongues cut off to protest what happened to Ellen James.
Oh, God.
What do you mean they actually have their own tongues cut off?
Yes. The society...
Oh, Mama, I don't want to hear about this shit.
You're a little short on sympathy, son.
No, Mama, I got a lot of sympathy for a little girl who gets raped, but, Mom, God, this is self-mutilation. I mean, suppose the next time there's a rape, I cut off my prick and I wear it around my neck. Barbara,
Good
well, I got a
idea.
good idea, too. Why don't you cut off
all right.
that way you are, little bitch!
It's all right.
Jesus Christ.
No sense making things any worse than they are.
This whole house is full of...
I know. Everyone here has something missing or some wound that won't heal, and your mother tries to nurse them back to health. She's a wonderful person.
Are you visiting somebody here?
No, why?
Well, you just seem like the only normal person around the place.
Oh, I don't know.
Pardon me. I hate to use a corny line like this, but haven't I seen you before?
You like football?
Oh, yeah, I used to watch it quite a bit.
Well, you might have seen me. I was a tight end with the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 90, Robert Muldoon. Oh.
Yeah, he's doing
I had a great
makeup.
pair of hands.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, that was John Lithgow. And he was in pretty good shape in that movie.
1982. World According to Gar.
Yeah, he changed pretty noticeably, like in terms of endearment, and then obviously he lost a lot of his vitality.
I think it was the Germs. Germs of Endearment.
He was in Terms of Endearment, wasn't he?
Yeah, Germs of Endearment. The germs got to him.
He was having an affair with, I think it was Terms of Endearment. He was doing something with, like, having sex with somebody, having an affair.
You know, I never saw that film. Did you see that, Brian?
Terms of Endearment, no, I don't think I've ever actually sat that whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, it is more of a woman's film than a man's film, I guess. But I kind of liked it. I liked the Jack Nicholson character, and he was the astronaut, and he was love interest for Shirley MacLaine.
Wow, he and
Deborah
Shirley
Wagner
MacLaine
was-
got on. She must have been like 1,000,000 years old.
The chick flick.
Yeah.
Is it like the film, was this like really popular with people who have mother fantasies?
Well, it was about Houston. It was set in Houston, and part of it was in Houston. I lived in Houston at the time. I thought so maybe that's why I liked it.
There's people who like sweating in the high humidity and getting flooded frequently.
Yeah.
And their mothers. Mm-hmm.
Don't knock Houston. We had a lot of strip clubs there. That's where they invented plastic surgery for women for breast enhancement.
Oh, no kidding. That was Houston?
Yeah, 2 Houston doctors did it. There was a movie about that called Breast Men. Did you ever see Breast Men?
No.
It's a great title.
Never heard of that.
David Schwimmer's in it. David Schwimmer and Chris Cooper, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Very good movie. I highly recommend it. Yeah. Houston has a lot of good food, low cost, no state income taxes, I think, in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And good-looking women.
It's like
Definitely
seafood?
a bunch of reasons to live there.
Mm-hmm. They have good seafood? Well, what's their barbecue? What's their what are they known for in terms of their food?
Oh, they have great Mexican food. They have good seafood. Everything really, but Mexican is probably the best there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you go.
Got the Rockets and the Astros and the Texans.
Who's their hockey team?
They used to have a hockey team too called the Arrows, but the Arrows left.
Oh yeah.
That was where I think Gordie Howe played on that team, didn't? I think he played for them for a while.
He might have. It sounds familiar.
This guy who played into his 40s.
I think it was one he played. It might have been the one that they folded while he was there. It was a team that he played with that folded.
So Brian, are you starting to pay attention to hockey now that football's winding down?
No, not.
It's pretty hard to pay attention to hockey because like ESPN doesn't even put the hockey stuff in with the regular sports stuff. You have to.
I'll check the standings every now and then, but hockey kind of lost its luster to me over the years. Well, I'll tell you what happened. Basically, I used to watch it on occasion back in the 70s, in between football, baseball, all that. And then the Kings became an exciting thing around. So I started following them for a long period. And then the Ducks came along right there in my town of Anaheim.
Yeah, and you're more of an Anaheim guy. You like the Anaheim teams.
Yeah. Anyway, once they both won championships, it was like, okay.
Been there, done that.
We did it finally.
I liked it when the Kings had the same colors as the Lakers. They had, there's a time when they were purple and gold as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
when they were started, when Gretzky came in, there was a similar thing happened to when the Raiders were around. Everybody was getting their jerseys. The gangsters are wearing Kings jerseys.
And they played at the Forum. I think I went to see one Kings game at the Forum
in Inglewood.
I don't remember who they were playing, but
I did watch that. I remember because I was out of town with a business meeting thing. It's a hotel in Pleasanton, California. And the hockey game was on. It was the final game. It turned out to be the final game. Kings versus Montreal there. When Gretzky was there. That's Patrick Waugh was the big story.
That was it. Are you talking about when the Kings went to the Stanley Cup Finals with Gretzky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that happened at the final.
That was like
the final game. Yeah,
93.
I think. Or 93.
That was 93. 93. Because the Penguins won it in 91.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably 93 sounds right.
Yeah.
It's like the last time I probably watched a hockey game from start to finish.
Wow.
No, it's
I don't have enough willpower or patience to do that. Watch hockey game from start to finish. That's almost as bad as watching a soccer game.
Yeah, right. I know what you mean. Basketball is similar to me as well. It's like, I've watched many games from start to finish, but now it's like, just catch it for here and there. And I check the standings. So again, basketball is not really big. Well, I don't watch it as much, but I'm following, and of course, Lakers have been my consistent favorite since the 70s.
Yeah, your Lakers pulled out a big one last night, 96-95 over the Celtics. And Alex Caruso sunk the Celtics. How ironic.
Sunk the Celtics.
Similarly with college basketball, same deal. I kind of check standings. Don't watch so much. I've watched the finals game on quite a few occasions, no matter who's playing. Again, I was a long-time Bruin fan.
Oh, you like the Bruins?
Yeah. Remember, I started becoming more into sports like 72, 73, right in that period. So I caught
Wooden.
the end of their dynasty. And
Yeah, you saw
Lakers,
one of
course.
the
Did you ever?
they won the Stanley Cup in '72 with Bobby Orr. After they won it in '70, I think.
Yeah,
So that's great.
that was
Great. We have common interests there. Let's see. What do you want to talk about?
Well, just to mention the Boston teams have kind of, except for the Patriots. I also have always kind of admired the Red Sox there too. It was good to see them win.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Patriots, we've got a really
in
sexy
rain-shrouded
matchup
Three
here.
Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh Partisans saw their Steelers go up against the upstart New England Patriots, led by their controversial coach Chuck Fairbanks. Fairbanks has made many changes in his ball team, a club that many felt was on its way to the top.
On the way to the top.
Biggest change, of course, is at quarterback, where Steve Grogan is mainly known as the man who replaced Jim Plunkett. But in the season's second game, Grogan fulfilled Fairbanks' faith in him and upset the Miami Dolphins. Today, the passer from Kansas State would go against the most famous defense in pro football history, Pittsburgh's powerful and usually invincible Steel Curtain. They're enough to frighten the most talented and experienced quarterbacks in the NFL. Another advantage Pittsburgh posed over New England was a far superior running attack, where their tandem of Rocky Blyer and the main man, Franco Harris, inevitably take control of a game. So at the outset, the Patriots' prognosis was as bleak as the weather in western Pennsylvania. Roy Girello opened the game by kicking off into the end zone. Rookie Ricky Feature headed for the right sideline, turned the corner and went all the way to the Patriot 45.
Oh, the run back.
But New England couldn't take advantage of their good field position. They punted and Pittsburgh took the ball for the first time on their own 20. Here the Steelers began the kind of drive a coach dreams about. Terry Bradshaw used his two backs, Harris and Blyer exclusively, staying on the ground for 10 carries that averaged 6.5 yards a crack as the Pittsburgh ground game moved inexorably upfield against the Patriot defense. All through this drive, Pittsburgh was getting their customary fine blocking from the offensive line.
Go Franco.
The drive ended from the 3 when Franco, behind a trap block from number 52, Mike Webster, swept into the end zone for the first score of the game.
Franco was a horse.
It was a typical Steeler drive, consuming nearly 6 minutes of the first quarter, and it gave Pittsburgh a 7-0 lead. Behind by 7, New England was forced to punt on their next series, but got...
Oh, poor New England.
New England, but that game ended up being pretty good, and New England won that game.
Really? Well, I'll fast forward to the end here.
Yeah. New England hung on and won at the end. It was a great...
The impossible 4th and 25. Bradshaw threw his finest pass of the afternoon.
4th and 25. He connects! He connects!
But the catch by Frank Lewis was to be Pittsburgh's last miracle. With 3 ticks left in the game, the outcome hinged on Roy Girello's 48-yard field goal attempt. Pittsburgh's stirring comeback sailed 3 feet wide of fulfillment.
Wide right.
For the defending Super Bowl champions, it was a lesson in humility. But for the young and eager New England Patriots, it was a satisfying and important win. Many football watchers wrote off New England's victory over Miami as a fluke, but it wasn't. The Patriots are a good young football team with an abundance of ripening talent. Today, they dealt the defending Super Bowl champions a decisive defeat. And indeed, Chuck Fairbanks' squad appears on the verge of contention in the rugged AFC East.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, that was a great team. They almost beat the Raiders in the playoffs and went to the Super Bowl, but not quite.
Mm-hmm.
They got stopped. It was by a controversial call, a pass interference call that a lot of people think was bogus, but bailed the Raiders out, and they went on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it's kind of disappointing that Patriots team that those guys never went to a Super Bowl. Never did much really besides that playoff run in 1976, I think.
Yeah. They kind of
had a lot of character.
They didn't do a whole lot before or after that for a while.
Yeah. It was like, why didn't that ever, why didn't that have more longevity?
It's funny. It's just teams that almost get there are forgotten. For instance, remember Peyton Manning. So speaking of quarterbacks who are playing for another team in a Super Bowl, like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, of course, played for Denver recently.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that long ago. And who did he beat?
Carolina, right?
Yeah, okay. It just takes this moment to remember. Yeah, the Carolina Panthers. The same Carolina Panthers, of Cam Newton. Yeah, so...
Yeah, that was the year Cam Newton had his greatest year when he went to the Super Bowl with them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was on top of the world then. They're 15-1.
Do you think that's not that long ago that the Panthers were contenders and now they're just forgotten? And all that glory and everything, the great season they had getting there is just, we're scratching our heads. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was Carolina. Yeah, you forget about the losers.
Very similar. Other teams, similar stories in there, like, who was that? The Cardinals in the 70s when they were in St. Louis.
Oh.
Had like a 3-year run there.
Mm-hmm.
Kept making the playoffs.
Jim Hart.
That's when they were called the Cardiac Cardinals.
Yeah.
Cardiac Cardinals.
They had Jim Hart, Conrad Dobler.
Oh, Dobler ended up there?
Dan Deerdorf.
Deerdorf, yep.
Yeah, those teams are always battling the Cowboys and the Redskins to get into the playoffs, weren't they?
Yeah, they're always just getting squeezed out. The Cowboys and the Redskins will play just good enough to screw them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, did the Cardinals ever win a playoff game? Did those teams ever do anything in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think right at the end of Hart's career they got one. Or was that with Tony Sison?
You have to see what the St. Louis did.
Yeah, just before they moved to Phoenix. I think they had 1 year where they got in the playoffs anyway. But they didn't go.
They may have gotten in, but I don't know if they won a game.
They might have won a wild card then too. I can't remember. I mean, I do recall something like that going on.
Yeah, they had one of the first owners, I think, this guy Bill Bidwell.
Oh, here, 28-year stay in St. Louis. They advanced to the playoffs just 3 times, 74, 75, and 82.
82.
Never hosting or winning any appearances.
Yeah.
Okay. 82.
Yeah, so they just made an appearance.
Yeah, but it's that 74 or 75 teams, and the teams, well, the years before and after that, they were still competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was Don Gurriel? Yep, Don Gurriel's team.
So, Brian, we haven't had a chance to discuss last week's outcomes yet. And
the games? Oh, football. Oh, yeah.
We had a little time to reflect on it. So,
what happened?
Any sage thoughts now that we've had a chance, a week to let it cook? So, like for instance, Rodgers and Brady, Tampa.
Oh yeah, the
Green Bay.
Yeah. What did I do on those? I had it written down. What did I do? I picked the Bills to cover by 3. I picked the Packers to cover by 3.5.
And you took the Bills for an upset. Yeah, you had the Bills for an upset there.
Those ones.
I got burned. I had a under 54 on the Bills game and an under 51 on the other game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, the what's his name? Green Bay dude. Looks like he just lost interest.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I mean, he had if you look at his statistics, he had a pretty good game. Just
didn't have a bad game.
Didn't make big plays.
Well, they get 3 turnovers. Brady turns the ball over on 3 consecutive possessions, and they don't make hay with, they don't get any points out. They just didn't make any hay with that. They didn't get a momentum from that.
Yeah,
they didn't make any hay. I put that on Rodgers. I don't put that on the coach. I don't put that on the defense. I put that on Rodgers. I mean,
but sorry. They also did that. They're the ones that did that field goal, or was that Buffalo did that?
I think Buffalo.
No, I think Green Bay took the field. Green Bay took the field goal, and it was like, "What are you doing? Yeah, you can kick it."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Stephen A. Smith went crazy on that one.
Yeah. Well, it's one time I'll agree with him. That was asinine. What are you taking a field goal here for? It's not going to. Okay, you're going to lose by three fewer. What are you doing? Get aggressive. You just had a good drive.
You got freaking Rodgers as quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing was ridiculous. I mean, you shake your head.
It's almost one of those games where there's some guys, conspiracy people out there going, there was a fix on there. They just wanted Tom Brady to go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Brady.
I don't know. Rodgers had his moments in there, but like you said, it sometimes seems like he doesn't care that much. For some reason, kind of similar to Russell Wilson, where he's kind of going through the motion for most of the game.
Yeah, really, like acting very passive aggressively, suggesting he has a passive aggressive streak, that he's maybe stewing a little bit out of jealousy and a little bit of rage because the other girls have better purses than him. That kind of attitude.
Maybe
could be.
Uh-huh.
I just saw I saw it. It looked similar to the loss they had earlier in the year to Tampa Bay, and then a similar loss to New Orleans, where it just never really seemed like he was in the game that much. I mean, they came kind of close at the end, but
and the Bills, they were just beat by a better team. I mean. Really, when it comes down to bottom line.
Yeah, their offense wasn't what it needed to be. Totally was not up to the task.
No.
Which that's why there's hope for Tampa Bay. Because seems like they have a better offense, and Kansas City's going to have to play better defense against them.
We'll talk about that after the break, but come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buffalo Bills, guys, it was deer in headlights. I mean, they got spotted 9 points. They missed the extra point yet again. When you miss the extra point, usually 99 out of 100 times, bad things follow. Something bad.
That's almost always a killer. Yeah, you're right. I've seen it many, many times. You miss that chip shot.
Yeah,
it always comes back to haunt you.
It just sets up horrible
Except
things.
When Kansas City misses them.
The only time it didn't hurt that I can remember was the Super Bowl with the Patriots against Atlanta, because the Patriots went and missed the extra point. But that's the only time I've seen someone be Teflon enough to let that deflect. Every other time, it's been this means bad things happen.
Yep.
And it certainly did there, because Buffalo then continued to implode it. Yeah, then everyone decided to come out of the woodwork and pick up Hardman for making that fumble there, which he doesn't do all that often. Not often enough compared to the plays he makes. And everyone just pulled together there, and Kelsey just acted like a frickin' you see him running amongst the children there. They're trying to cover him, all these short people. And he's like a moose or something, or these huge antlers, a buck, like a 10-point buck, running through with all these does or something.
Yeah.
He's like a big wildebeest.
Yeah. No, he's got horns, because he's just the shoulder pads look like horns to me, just like knocking people over. It takes 3 guys to bring him down, and you see him slicing in there. He just was just finding soft spots in the zone, and so he found one, boom, then Mahomes would find him.
Yeah. The defenders are like little wild dogs nipping at his heels.
Yeah, schnauzers.
I've never seen anybody get a ball to a receiver the way that Mahomes does either, on a consistent basis.
Yeah. The ball is always in the right general vicinity for a guy like Kelsey to just snatch it up. I mean, he's got great hands. He's got the best hands since Robert Muldoon.
Roberta Muldoon.
Yeah. Well, we got the break here, so we should go to a commercial break. And why don't you play the Mary Tyler Moore clip I sent you with Sue Ann Nivens and Phyllis? That was a good clip. Do you have that?
I do, but I really wanted to play Nixon. Do you ever think of Death Dick?
Oh, all right. We'll play whatever you want. We'll play both of them.
Well, yeah, if we can do that, that'd be great. All right, well, we're taking our break here on the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Stick around. There's more coming up.
More coming up.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life Gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fit for greatness.
As I add the 2 tablespoons of butter, I would love it if you would dolly in for a nice close shot.
Right.
Thank you. And after I add the chocolate to the hot milk, I would love an over-the-head shot looking down into the bowl just as I beat in the 4 egg yolks.
Sorry, Sue Ann. We only have 2 cameras for this spot.
Oh? Where's the 3rd camera?
We need it for the needlepoint demo that follows.
Oh. I'm sorry, Billy, but I cannot do a chocolate souffle with only 2 cameras. Why don't you arrange to set up the other camera, and we'll just hold the rehearsal until you're ready.
Whatever you say, Sue Ann. 10 minutes, everybody.
Hi, Sue Ann.
Oh, Mary, how nice to see you. Don't you look pretty?
Oh, thank you. You remember Phyllis Lindstrom?
Oh, yes, from your party. Nice to see you again.
I'll come right to the point. I'm here to talk about you, and Mary's here to see to it that I don't rip your face off. Fill it
Mary! Mary! 10 minutes ago, an armored truck was held up for $200,000.
You want to get a film crew out there?
We don't have to.
DeFalco!
Oh, Mr. I said it would work, and it worked!
Mr. Graham.
What? What's the matter?
I have a chocolate souffle in the oven. One slight tremor, and it's ruined.
Okay. DeFalco's on his way in right now with the film. Come on, we got a lot of work to do if we want to be ready for tonight's show. Mary?
Coming! Mary! Okay, Phyllis, I'll be back just as soon as I can. I promise.
Why don't we go into my living room? I'm sure we'll be much more comfy in here. Now, what is it you wanted to talk to me about?
I'm here to talk about you and Lars.
Oh.
Shall I tell you the sort of relationship Lars and I have? Does this work?
Oh, please.
I shall be very happy to tell you exactly, after 17 years of marriage, the sort of relationship that Lars and I have. Is Dr. Lindstrom in? Mrs. Lindstrom? I see. Thank you. He is with a patient. He will call me back first chance he gets. So now you see, that is the sort of relationship Lars and I have.
I'll be right back. After this brief look at my chocolate souffle.
I think what we have to talk about is more important than your chocolate souffle.
I'm sorry, but this is a very critical time.
Well, I'm sorry. This is a very critical time for me, too.
Oh, my poor baby. Well, there was no need for violence. But why, in the way, sitting and talking is one thing, but why you should deliberately destroy an innocent souffle that never did you any harm. One moment of harm, that's beyond me. I think you've gone too far.
You're bananas, you know that?
I'm going to try to forgive you for the souffle. I realize how difficult it must be for you losing a wonderful man like Lars.
Did you know that Lars has a neurotic fear of swallowing hair? Did you know that Lars gets car sick if he drives over 30 miles an hour? It's true. We missed the first act of Man of La Mancha, West Side Story, and The Sound of Music.
Oh, not The Sound of Music.
That is Lars, and that is the man you want.
I'm sorry, but nothing you've said could ever make me change my mind about Lars.
We're ready for rehearsal, Sue Ann.
Excuse me. I have a show to do.
Phyllis, Mary. She won't let him go. Mary, please, talk to her.
How lovely, Billy. I see you found the third camera.
Okay, hold it. Sue Ann, listen to me, because I've got to be in the screening room in 45 seconds. Ted already knows about this thing with you and Lars. You know what a big mouth Ted has. And what Ted doesn't tell, I will tell. And pretty soon it's going to be all over the station. And they're not going to think that that's a terrific image for the happy homemaker. So you see, it comes down to a choice. Either Lars or your show. I've got to go. I will see you later.
Well, since you put it that way, Mary, I don't seem to have any choice. I'm not doing it for myself, you understand, but for those ladies out there who need me.
By the way, Sue Ann, do you know how to remove chocolate stains?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Splashed it. And we're back.
Yeah. That was a classic confrontation between Betty White and Cloris Leachman. You know Betty White's still alive, Eric?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, despite all the rumors, she's still living.
Yeah. So is Lou Grant.
Yeah, I loved Ed Asner.
Ed Asner's like 93 and Betty White's 90. I think, is she 100 or 90?
99.
She's coming up on it. Yeah, she's gonna get there, I think.
Wouldn't you like to see the two of them in the ring?
two of them in the ring?
Yeah. Put Betty White up against Ed Asner in the ring, doing them celebrity boxing matches.
It's funny how Ed Asner is like, in that show, I really like his personality. He's just kind of like this good old boy, you know. But in real life, he's different.
Well, very
he's
different, yeah.
in real life.
Yeah, he has a serious life, and he's a very spiritual man.
he's a great guy, but he plays this kind of Vince Lombardi type gruff macho guy. But in real life, he's all into Democrat politics, and he's just a totally different character.
Yeah, which is good. Now, this week in California, we had more news about the unemployment system breaking down yet again. They've how many billions have they apparently given out that they think are fraudulent? Brian, did you hear the figure?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The billions of dollars they gave out in unemployment that they think are fraudulent.
Oh gosh, I don't remember that number, but yeah, it was.
I think it was like $11 billion.
Yeah, it's quite substantial. I mean, crazy to even think that could possibly happen.
We've got film this week of how easy it is to stay on unemployment. I'm going to play it for you now. This is a Chab Dog exclusive.
All you have to prove you killed somebody.
Well, you just have to be able to keep, not doing your job.
Occupation.
Gladiator.
Did you kill last week?
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Did you try to kill last week? Yeah. Now listen, this is your last week of unemployment insurance. Either you kill somebody next week or you'll have to change your status. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sign here. Next. Occupation.
Stand-up philosopher.
What?
Stand-up philosopher. I coalesce the vapor of human experience into a viable and logical comprehension.
Oh, a bullshit artist. Did you bullshit last week?
No.
Did you try to bullshit last week?
Yes.
Comicus! 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 Back in the line. Back in the line.
He's not in line. He's not in line. He's my agent, Swiftus. Good news. I just got you a job.
Now that you're working, you won't be needing this.
Wait a minute. That money is mine.
I'm sorry. I'm on my wine break.
Dopus! I don't have the money in my hand. Oh, I like that. I like that. I go out and bust my anus to get you a job, and you're angry with me? Boy, you are nuts. NVTS nuts. Okay. What kind of a job is it? Just the best gig in all of Rome. A date that every stand-up philosopher, including Socrates, would die for. Believe it or not, you are going to play Caesar's Palace. The main room? The main room! Groovus! Come on, let's not be late. The show starts in an hour. The main room! The main room! The main room! 10.
Yeah, so there's how easy it is to keep on unemployment here, fraudulently, in California.
It was funny, though. I did actually take advantage of a couple of loopholes myself. Can't blame me, I guess. But I left California on unemployment back in 2011. I was taking it for about 9 months there. I moved to Colorado, and I just let it keep coming till it ran out.
They kept giving California kept paying you unemployment even though you moved states.
Yep. And a similar situation happened when I moved from Colorado to Nevada. Same deal. I got another month or two out of Colorado while I was actually in Nevada and working.
Those damn unemployment checks just keep tracking you down, huh? Can't avoid them.
Well, it's up to you, I guess, to tell them that you're not there anymore. So if you don't tell them, then
I get the feeling that the state of California has let a lot of things slide in the last year. They're just not. I don't feel like they're on top of what the hell's going on. Because I'll just say that there were some tax notices that I never got mailed that I usually get mailed every year, and I just had to pay it myself without the notice being sent to me. And usually they're on top of this stuff, but I feel like the whole state has just been overwhelmed by coronavirus.
Oh, yeah. But there's obviously some flaws in the unemployment system that have been there for a long time.
Well, I think the governor will have much more time to address it now that he's lifted the lockdown. Isn't that funny? You know, up until last week, they were saying everything wasn't going all that well, and then on Monday, oh, you know what? We're gonna go back to the old system we had. Remember that new system we have? We're just gonna throw it all out. Remember we had an old system? We're going to go back to that. I just found that very peculiar.
That was really wild, and of course, your well, I guess I could only say your right-wing folks really jumped on that news when the states started talking about opening up again. And go, oh, see, we told you. As soon as Biden's in there, we're going to start opening up again.
Yeah.
Well, is it safe? I mean, I don't even know what the numbers are in terms of the coronavirus hospitalizations.
They're basing it on ICU capacity. It's not as critical anymore.
So in December, when we started this, I saw the number last night. 2,744 was the ICU capacity. Today, this week, it was 6,400. So, and as 6,400, we can open up again. It's safe.
So there's
they're kind of like relaxed. Yeah. It's
we can relax.
6,400 now, and there weren't 6,400. There was only 2,200.
2,744 in December when Newsom began this.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me in a state this big that's the difference.
No, and I'm not even just trying to be critical here. I'm just saying I just saw this and it just baffled me that we're being driven, right from his office and from the state, all this bad news right up until the end of last week, and then and saying, well, maybe we're seeing a little bit of a break, and that's all they were saying. And then the following week, we're going to get rid of this tier system and go back to what we had before.
Meanwhile, look at all the businesses that have closed that aren't coming back.
Oh, and the restaurants can reopen for outdoor service, etc. In the rain. Did you get some snow up there?
There was a weird one. They're being banned from having like Super Bowl gatherings. No TVs.
Oh yeah, and of course.
Wait, say that again.
Okay.
What's that? You can't have a Super Bowl party at a restaurant.
You can't have. Yeah, they said that they're banning. They said the way they put it was they're ban any TVs in the dining facility or the dining area to discourage people from gathering around the TV.
Okay. Yes, and you can eat in restaurants again outside, but apparently you can only have family members at the table. You can't have any outside family members at your table. And you have to wear a mask.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
And you got to wear a mask, except when you're eating. So if you're waiting for the food, you got to have a mask on. If you're ordering, you got to have the mask on. You can only take the mask off while you're eating, and you finish your last bite, and maybe even between bites, you got to put the mask back on.
Are you serious?
I think they even have a time. I think they even have a time limit.
I'm not making this up. And Danny DeVito.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're making a fuck out of me.
Well, that's the government, and that's why there's a recall on. Because we're all being made fucks of right now, Mr. Newsom. I mean, I didn't. For a lot of the time, you made some good choices, and you did a good job, but you did some very questionable things, and here's some more questionable stuff. It's not my fault you don't explain yourself better, but it's my fault. We're all suffering from your inability to explain baffling decisions like this. This is another one. And what's the data? There was a request. There was a Freedom of Information Act filed that the state of California is still currently ignoring. They're in violation of not releasing information as to what prompted the data, what prompted these decisions, what was the data based on. The state of California is not releasing this, so we don't know. Just like the $1 billion mask contract that was given to that shady Chinese company that gets subsidies here in California and may very well kick back into the California Democratic Party and directly into Newsom's coffers himself. Just may.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that guy at all.
Very disturbing.
So who can we have as our next governor? You guys have any ideas?
The next governor? No, I have no clue.
If we're going to replace him, who can we put in?
I hear names tossed around, and I never even heard of them.
You want to be governor, Eric? You want to take that challenge on?
I don't know if I have. Yeah, I got residency requirement. No, I got a better idea. I got a much better idea. Kathy Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
I think she can please
that'll
everybody.
Be a free-for-all.
She can please everybody in this state. And
that would be different. That would be different having an actor as a governor, maybe.
Yeah, never tried that.
An actress, yeah.
An actress, though. It's a woman. We can't. Yeah, it can't be another man. So I mean, if she's not available, maybe Rosie O'Donnell. But Oprah's busy right now. We can't do Oprah.
So how are we doing with the potential guest? Do you think he's going to call in, or you just don't? You'll have no idea.
Oh yes, we just got a response that we will be expecting his call at some point here.
Oh, good, because I studied up on him, so I want to ask him some things.
Okay. Well, here I got something funny for you to play here. This is Tyreek Hill being interviewed earlier this week.
Okay.
Let's
hear that.
Here's a short clip from Tyreek.
Hey, Tyreek, Chris Jones was up earlier, and he said that he reads everything on social media and takes it personal, uses it as motivation. I know you've been in the social media sphere the last couple of days with other players. What's your thought on social media, and do you use that as motivation as well?
I will say I hate you guys. Yeah, I hate the media so much, man. Because not you guys on this Zoom call right now, but
not you.
Social media, it can be fun and it can also be good, man. It just depends on how you use it. But I don't get on social media and just look up things like that. I mean, I think it's good. Chris, uses something for motivation like that. I mean, that's, what do you call it? Bulletin board material, I would say. So. But for me, man, I just go out there and play. Like I said, I just love the game of football, and I just love competing. So, I mean, I think last night, man, me and my grandma was playing like a friendly volleyball game, and it just got competitive out of nowhere. She's like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, Ma. It's just the fire in me, man. Like you put that in me. Like I just want to win." So it's just something about like competing, man. I just love it.
What the hell is he talking about?
Hey, Tyreek, when you go back to that Big 12 game, everybody knows about the first quarter and the sharp call and everything like that. And then they changed their plan a little bit.
Right.
What changed from quarter? You were still productive, but what changed from quarters 1 and 2, then 2 through 4 in their plan against you?
I mean, I just got tired, man. I just got tired of running, man. Now, let me stop. But for real, though,
I got tired.
Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. He's been doing it for a long time. So, I mean, I'm sure he's seen guys like me, throughout his career. So, I mean, just being able to like dial up cover 2s, cover 55 scrums and things like that just slow me down, So, and then also putting Carlton on me, slowing me down and then bringing the safety over top a little bit to double me and Kelsey. So that kind of slowed us down a lot. And then plus their front 7 is tremendous. So, I mean, once they get clicking on defense, they're a great defense, So Devin White flying around the field. So they're great, man. So I just feel like I just got lucky,
Yeah, very. He got lucky.
Tyreek. Tyreek, the streak.
It's the cheetah. It's got spots on there.
Did he say he was playing volleyball with his grandmother? Is that what he said?
Yeah. Yeah, and it got competitive.
How do you even do that? It made no sense to me.
And she's like, "What's up with you?" And he's like, "Hey, you grew it in me. You put it in me. It's got to play. I'm intense."
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's nice to know he's that competitive that he beat the hell out of his own grandmother in volleyball.
Well, you know what happens when the soda machine's part of the bet. You go a little crazy yourself, don't you, Chapdock?
Oh yeah, I go crazy
on the line
for various reasons, but yeah, I've lost some of my competitiveness as I've aged, but in sports.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten pretty competitive with my dad particularly in basketball, and golf.
Yeah, well, you need to get up to his level of energy. Try some crystal meth. I think that's what older people do to adjust themselves back. And I think Brady's going to need a lot of crystal meth next Sunday, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because, boy, they got their work cut out for them, don't they?
Yeah, we'll see. They're going to be at home. They're going to have all that home cooking.
That's the thing, that home, they happen to be the home team.
Yeah, they get to sleep in their own beds, but the fans aren't going to be. They're not going to be shooting the cannon off every time they score a touchdown like they do when they're at home. So that advantage.
They're playing in Florida, so they can fill that stadium up, and the governor's not going to say anything.
Well,
yeah, it depends on the NFL's take, though, I think.
Yeah, the NFL's distributed the tickets, so it's not going to be a bunch of Tampa Bay fans there. And remember, earlier this year, Kansas City went in and beat them. They know that stadium as well. Yeah. The NFL, as far as I know, they're only letting in healthcare workers and first responders that have all had vaccinations.
Yeah. As far as the game there goes, right now we got 15 people picking on my contest here. And it's 9-6 Kansas City at this time.
Well, that's
overall.
Pretty decent. That means that there's some split of opinion there.
That's straight up or against a spread?
Straight up.
What I've done this time around is straight up and points. That way I can determine, okay, the winner has to pick, let's say it's 41-38 Kansas City. If you pick 41 Kansas City, you win. If somebody picked, if two people pick 41-38, if two people pick 41 Kansas City, I then move to the losing team's score to determine the winner.
And is there a separate prize for the Super Bowl and getting that right as opposed to the entire playoff contest or not?
Yeah, the entire playoff contest was won by my friend Janice. She went 11-1 throughout the playoffs, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Next best was 9-3. So regardless of whether she won the Super Bowl or not, she was obviously going to win overall. So she got that prize. But what I did is I have a $25 gift certificate for the Super Bowl winner. And I'm going to throw in an extra $10 for anyone who might get the exact score.
Okay. So, yeah. So there is hope for me if I hit the Super Bowl score on the nose or close.
Right.
Yeah.
So far, nobody has picked the same exact score twice. I'm prepared for that too. If it comes to two people picking exactly the same score and both winning, I'm just going to flip a coin.
So you did some careful deliberations on this to think of every possible tiebreaker scenario. Good for you.
Yeah, I did it last year at the end of our season. I turned on my video camera and stood there and filmed myself as I flipped the coin. So everybody knew it was on the up and up.
Well, check out Brian's site at
Sports Rock. Yeah. I'm also thinking about taking the remaining names of all your folks. Well, I shouldn't say you yet. Any of us that did not win anything, and just putting everybody's name in a bowl and pick somebody out and give them something.
You'll make it dependent on the Pro Bowl. Yeah, make it on the outcome of the Pro Bowl, which is being played on PS1 as we speak. Or is it Xbox?
Eric, we still have a little time. If we got a few minutes, you know, speaking of the Super Bowl, you could play my "It's Pat" clip if you want.
Yeah, Pat at the office.
Yeah, Pat at the office.
Yeah,
I'll pull that out. Grooving here, the tomahawk chop.
I hope you all think I'm dense or something, but is Pat a man or a woman? No, I'm serious. Oh, I gotta go. Bye.
How's it going, Bill?
Great, just working.
Irritating has 2 R's.
Thank you.
It's funny that I'm your boss.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's really hard for me to work when your breath is fogging up the computer screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll leave you alone.
Okay.
See you later. Bye-bye. Are you mad at me, Bill?
No. Why would I be mad at you?
I just thought you might be mad at me.
Oh, no, not at all, Miss. Not quite sure how to address you.
No formalities here. Just call me Pat.
Oh, okay. What's your last name, Pat?
Riley.
Riley?
Yes.
Your name is Pat Riley?
Yes.
Like the coach of the Lakers?
Yes. But there's one big difference between me and him.
What's that?
I never coached a professional basketball team.
Oh.
That's my little joke. I think humor is important in the workplace, especially around here. Who's this, your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's Dina.
She's pretty.
Thanks. So, do you have a boyfriend, are you married?
I was gonna be married, but it all fell apart.
Oh, boy, what happened?
I don't know. Ask my ex-fiance.
Oh, what's your ex-fiance's name?
Chris.
Chris, huh? Well, now, was Chris involved with anyone?
Yes. Terry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. It's just that...
I can't talk about this anymore. I guess it's that time of the month.
Oh, okay.
Bills.
Hey, I gotta make a big decision. Maybe you could help me with. I'm trying to decide what to watch tonight on TV. Either the big Giants 49ers game or Murphy Brown. What are you gonna watch tonight, Pat?
Oh, neither. I rented a movie.
Oh. What'd you rent?
Tootsie. I guess I'll just sit at home alone tonight and watch Tootsie with my cat.
Oh, you have cats?
Yeah, I've got an orange little male cat named Gus, big male cat, and a little female cat, Rita.
Male and female. Oh, that's nice.
I feel kind of funny right now. You know so much about me.
Well, you know, it's funny. I actually don't know that much about you, Pat. You know, I think it's time for my lunch break.
Oh, I know. Let's have lunch together. Today you'll pay, tomorrow I'll pay.
Okay, great. Hey, you know what? I'm a little short on cash, though, today. Why don't you just grab your wallet or your purse or your wall purse or...
Oh, that's all right. I just carry a sports sack.
Okay.
You know, that was weird then, and it's still weird now.
Gotta love those androgynous names, you know.
Oh yeah, it was just played up the whole moment.
So I kind of makes sense to me that Mr. Mahomes doesn't like to be called Pat because it's a little bit androgynous, you know.
No, well, okay, that's one take, but his father's name is Pat. So to separate the two, he's Patrick because his father is Pat, and Pat Mahomes is his own. Had a good career in his own right.
Oh, is his father? His father was Patrick too.
Pat.
Oh, so his father was Pat.
Yeah, his father's Pat. His whole baseball career and all that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because then his mother gets pissed off. If his mother hears, Pat's like, no, Pat's my husband. I bang Pat. Patrick's my son. You call him Patrick. Literally, she said that. So.
Oh, the mom was the one that was kind of all in front of that.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're our age. Mahomes was born in, birth date? 95, September 1995.
Oh, is he September baby?
Yeah. I think it's September 24th, 1995. Yeah, in fact, I heard him got asked a question the other day. And they said, when did you become aware of Tom Brady? And he said September 25th, 1995, which is referring to his birthday. It was the moment he became aware of Tom Brady's existence.
Oh, he's a September boy. I like that.
And I bet you Tom Brady was probably playing in Michigan then.
Just starting out in Michigan.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? So Mahomes is born and Brady's just getting used to bench warming in Michigan.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Hey, Brady was getting some good air there last week. Did you notice that? Earlier in the season, the run on him was he wasn't completing intermediate passes, but he was last week.
He's been getting better all as the season wore along there.
Uh-huh.
I think we had a false alarm about him not being able to throw the ball deep. I think he can. It's just I think the bigger is just having the time to do that because he doesn't want to get hurt. So.
A whole new system, new coaching staff, everything like that. He actually did an amazing job considering.
And AB is coming back, so he will be there to run the long patterns.
Yeah, but you think about that. The team last year with Jameis, Crab Legs, Winston wasn't even a playoff team. And now the team with really only two changes. They got Gronk and they got Brady. And now they're playing in a Super Bowl. That's a big jump, guys.
Yeah. I just got another pick for Kansas City, so it's now 10-6 overall.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that's a huge stretch. The fact that these players, as they got better, yes, they're playing better together. They're learning each other. They're learning the system against a team that has great familiarity with each other, great chemistry, and has played together, through adversity now for 3 years. That's a tall order to think that you can overcome that kind of a bit, just the time they've been together that Tampa Bay just hasn't had. I mean, Tom Brady and Tampa Bay, that's not a team. The Chiefs, that's a team. It's a tall order. Anything can happen. I mean, look at Peyton Manning and Denver beating the favorite there, Carolina.
Yeah,
and they lost the year before to Seattle, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Seattle.
Uh-huh.
Seattle crushed them the year before.
Crushed them, yeah.
I think it'll be a good game. I don't think Brady's going to come out flat.
Well, it's either going to be, if they can get fired up, if the offense can get moving, then it could be just like it could have been there with Buffalo. But if they stall or they don't, Kansas City could run away with this pretty quick. Because what's the defense? Really, Tampa Bay defense. It's not something to quiver in your boots over. What do they got?
Well, wait. they've been playing well. They're ranked very high in terms of their ability to stop the run, and they've been covering. They did a number on the Saints on the Saints in their short passing game. They're going to. The question in my mind is can they stop Kelsey, and what's going to happen? Are they going to play suffocating defense on the short, medium range passes, which that could really cause some problems, I think.
Go ahead then. You're just going to leave Hill open downfield, or go ahead. You want to take Kelsey out in the middle, then you got Watkins or Hill or Harmon.
Oh, is Watkins playing?
Hun, got Sammy Watkins. Yeah, I think Watkins is playing. I think the only player out is they lost the Pro Bowl. Yeah, they lost Eric Fisher, the Pro Bowl lineman.
Yeah,
that's not easy. The Pro Bowl, yeah, that's not an easy one to fill, but they're good.
You got to worry. You got to worry about Donkey Kong Sue rushing the passer, possibly crushing somebody.
Yeah, that's one guy. And against Mahomes, Sue will over pursue, and Holmes will just do his magical ballet dance around him, and then complete the play like he did. He stole a couple of plays last week against Buffalo, where they had him dead to rights. And the quarterback, that was a sack for a good 10, 15-yard loss. And it was just amazing to watch that film, thank you, and see Mahomes just it's almost like his mind is predicting the gravity, predicting the trajectory based on the energy that the other body, the defensive player, is putting out. Sees the trajectory, rolls towards it to accept the energy, then just rolls away from it. And then, then the other guy's completely out of position and then makes his play. You can't defend against that. I mean, that's like, it's a combination of ballet and physics going on there. It's just, Mahomes is just, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, this is going to be it should be a great game. Yeah.
Well, even just to watch the Mahomes show, just to watch those occurrences happen, sure. If Tampa can show up and make it a game, even better. But that's a tall order for them. I mean, they can play perfect defense, and then then just one play, they do one of them reverses, where they just get the speed going there, or they catch somebody out of position. They can be really fast. But here, we have a new guest joining the show. Welcome to the Chabdog Sports Talk Radio Show. This is Fishback.
Hello?
Joe Fishback. Joe Fishback, welcome to the show.
Yes. Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, it's a beautiful day. I'm the co-host, Eric the Well-Read. I want to introduce you to Brandon Chabner of the Chabdog Sports Talk Show. Brandon.
Hi, welcome to our show. Nice to have you on, Joe. How are you doing?
Yes. Hey, I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Not bad. How's it going for you guys?
Oh, we're trying to get by. It's the week before the Super Bowl, so we're just kind of killing time here, waiting for it to happen and talking about what might happen. And but we're really pleased to have you on. And you played in how many Super Bowls? Did you play in one?
Played in one.
That was one of the. That was in '93, right, or '94?
'93 with Dallas. '93, yeah.
Yeah, was that the Super Bowl where Leon Lett made his big boo-boo?
The gaffle. No, that was '92.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the Dallas, the second coming of the Dallas dynasty there, and
pretty much.
That must have been a thrill being on a Super Bowl team, huh?
Oh yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing like Super Bowl week, and I just think it's going to be an awesome game this year.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, Joe. Do you got any picks for us here?
I didn't hear you.
Oh, do you have any predictions for us?
Honestly, man, I think I'm actually pulling for the Chiefs, but it's hard to go against Brady. Those guys are playing really well right now. The defense is playing awesome. But I like Kansas City. I just think they have too many weapons. I think it'll be a close game, though.
You played.
Go ahead.
You were a safety, right? Is that your position?
Yeah, I played safety mainly. You know, I was a special teams guy, so that's how I made a living.
I saw some pictures of you, and boy, you look pretty big for a safety.
It was just big shoulder pads back then.
What was your playing weight like?
I played at like 225. Yeah, most of the time 220, 225.
Yeah. I'm sure you packed the wallop when you hit people on those kickoffs, right?
That was part of it. Always.
Yeah, Joe was apparently you were involved in a pretty it was, I guess I would say, a well-known play. I think it was in 1991 when towards the end of the game when you were with the Falcons, right? And you got a pitch from Deion Sanders after he intercepted and took it in for a score, but it ended up not counting. I think it was a crazy play though. You remember that play?
Yeah, that was a crazy play, man, and a lot of people remember me from that play. You know, anytime you get a lateral from Deion, and I was like a half step in front of him. And so they actually caught. I think that was the first year actually instant replay, and they ended up calling it back. But it was a really exciting play. A lot of people got a lot of static from that play because we take a knee, the game is over. But the way we played that year, it was anything but uneventful. So that's how we played all year, and that's how we finished the season.
Did you like Deion Sanders? What was he like to be around? He seems like a lot of fun.
Well, you know, I've always told everybody that always asked me the two best teammates that I had was Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin. I just think both of those guys are great teammates. You know, they get a lot of flack for some stuff off the field, but in reality, both of those guys are really good guys.
What is it about them that when you say good guys, is it that they were like hard workers and you know?
Well, one thing they both have an infectious personality, and both of those guys, they practice every day as if it's a Sunday game. You know, they both work really hard. For instance, Deion, you know, a lot of people think he's this wild, elaborate guy, but you know, the guy never drank, he never smoked, he never cursed. So, you know, it's just stuff that you see that other people don't actually get to see. It tells you a lot about the character of an individual. And like I said, both of them were just great guys.
Yeah, Deion is. I'm sure he took really good care of himself, trained hard, and yeah, he's a talent. I mean, we may never see another cornerback like that. God, he would just take guys. Right? I mean,
he's often imitated, never duplicated. Everybody want to be, but you know, he's a standard.
Yeah, prime time. Michael Irvin, very productive. God, that guy put up some huge numbers.
Yeah.
Was that a crazy locker room? That Dallas locker room they had a lot of personalities, didn't they?
There was a lot of personalities in that locker room. A lot of different personalities in that locker room, but it was always fun. You know, guys kept it kind of light, and a lot of good people in that locker room. Had a lot of good times with those guys.
Joe, does Troy Aikman, did he talk as much in the locker room back then as he talks today when he's doing a game?
No, actually, man, Troy was actually a really quiet guy. He worked hard. He put in the work. He took what he did seriously, but he was not a big talker. He didn't do a lot of talking in the locker room or off the field. He just put his work in on Sundays. Troy didn't talk a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not like today. he's rather verbose today on the game.
Job. He's got to talk all the time now, but yeah, I kind of sense that he's serious.
Yeah, stoic.
Kind of a little mechanical. I noticed when he played quarterback, a lot of times and I think he said this, a lot of times he just threw to spots on the field.
Right.
Oh, it was kind of, there was a process, and he just did it and got the ball in an area that he should get it to, but he wasn't, you know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah, he was sort of robotic with it. You know, he knew where it needed to go, and that's what he did. So he just counted on guys to be where he was putting that ball, and they just come from hard work, timing, and practice, and those guys put in a lot of work back then.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you after you stopped playing football in what 90? Was it the mid 90s?
Yeah, I finished in the mid 90s.
Did you stay involved in football after that, or did you go into something else?
I mean, I stayed involved with it in the community. I've been doing coaching rec football and basketball for numerous years, just to stay involved with the sport. It's something that gives me great pleasure. I have two sons at home, and one of them's in high school now, one's in middle school. So that's where my life has been the last 15 to 20 years.
That's sure is very rewarding. And
Right.
where you live in what part of the country? Where are you now?
I'm actually in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta now for 17 years.
Oh, lucky you.
Since
Home
retirement.
of good barbecue.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, some good barbecue. Do you have a go-to barbecue spot there in Atlanta?
Yeah, my house. That's the best barbecue you can get here in Atlanta. Just being honest with you.
Right on. Right on. Can you give us any tips on how you make your sauce?
Oh yeah. It's a special sauce. Actually, I get my sauce from Tennessee. I'm originally from Tennessee, so I got a little special spot there where I go pick up my sauce.
Now, Joe, you came up in a very unique time in the NFL. You were one of the first people to get Plan B free agency.
Right.
Because you came up, Atlanta drafted
Plan B
you.
free agency.
Yeah. How did that work?
Back then. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, how'd that work?
Well, back then when they first started, Plan B free agency was only 10. They can only put 10 guys on as a Plan B free agent. So those 10 guys were not protected. So my first year in Atlanta, I wasn't protected. That's why I ended up going to the New York Jets as a Plan B free agent. But free agency, I think, has really been good for the NFL. Gives guys an opportunity to move around. Gives clubs an opportunity to pay the guys that they want to pay. But I think free agency has really been good for the league.
Did you have an agent back then that was arranging those things?
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Did you have an agent that was arranging those things?
Oh, yeah. The agent sets up everything. The first time I was a Plan B free agent, I think I had like 7 trips scheduled to go meet with different teams. But the agent, they set all that up for you.
Oh, wow. But that was all brand new. Like that hadn't happened until you were there. Like at previous years, you were just stuck with the team, right?
Yeah. Right. Yep. Previous year you were stuck. Yep. That's true.
So did other players, was there a difference in the team when players like you came in and there's other players there that were legacy players that were still stuck? Was there any different feeling there, or was that all just forgotten?
Yeah, I don't think it's much difference. It actually became a thing once they got the salary cap in place. I was one of those guys that this guy, he's a special teams guy. He's now a veteran. We got to give him $300,000 a year. We can go get 3 rookies and give them $100,000 a piece to take that spot. So that's kind of what it came to. It was all about money.
And speaking of money in the salary cap today, how's a team like Kansas City going to last much longer here when it comes time to renegotiate some of those contracts?
And that's why I say they got to get it now. I mean, Mahomes, he's worth every penny, but you gave the guy $500 million. So it's going to be hard to pay some other guys that's going to be coming up for them. But they have an opportunity right now to go ahead and win, go back to back. I wish him well, but it's good. It's going to be the general manager and the coaches, the front office. They're going to have some decisions to make coming up real soon. Everybody can't get paid. We understand that.
I got to take my hat off to whoever works in their scouting department. They've done a really good job of developing their rookies over the last couple of years. You look at McCole Hardman, for instance. They developed that, and what a wonderful job. And then this year, the running back.
They got a great scouting department because they draft these guys and they get production out of them. So that don't happen everywhere. But these guys that they're actually drafting, they're actually getting production out of 4th or 5th round draft picks. So
yeah, exactly. On the cheap,
them guys. Yeah.
I mean, I guess We'll see how long they can go to the well and do this. Belichick made a living at doing that for a while there with Brady, but finally the fairy came calling and took that down.
Yeah, Joe, are you a Falcons fan?
Yeah.
Honestly, living here, I am a fan. I do pull for the Falcons. I've been hurt ever since the debacle down with New England in the Super Bowl. But living here and playing for the team, I do cheer for the team.
You're a Chiefs fan.
No, you've just been accused of being a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. Well,
he just got accused of being a Chiefs fan, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got friends that are Chiefs fans, so that's why I fought. But and I like Mahomes. I like Mahomes. I love the kid. I think he's a great kid, and so I want to see him do well.
Have you ever seen?
You could ask for a better Super Bowl this year.
No, you couldn't. But have you ever seen a better quarterback in your life, Joe, than Patrick Mahomes?
Well, now he's still young now. He's still young. He still has a ways to go. He still has a ways to go.
Yeah.
I'm partial to guys I played with, Troy Aikman, Brett Favre. I mean, he still has a way to go, but he's on the right path. He can be as good as any of those guys if his career continues to flourish the way it has.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just thinking, like, his ability to be able to, like Troy Aikman, once he got his weight centered and he got his momentum in place, he was as accurate. He was incredible. The ball would laser up to the perfect positions. Unlike Patrick Mahomes, who somehow is able to, throw off his back foot across the field, across his body, and still nail the ball into a perfect location. Can you think of any other pro quarterbacks over the years that have been able to do it as consistently as Mahomes?
Throw off balance and stuff.
Yeah. Throw perfect off balance passes.
I like Brett. If you think about how Brett threw the ball a lot of times, he was throwing off his back foot a lot, and
he
was making crazy plays. And and the thing about him is both of these guys they can use their legs. Both guys can use their legs. So
Brett Favre.
I think I would compare more to Brett than anybody else right now.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison. I think you hit it right on the head there with Favre.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay defense better be looking at Brett Favre tape as well here to see what they're facing.
You know what happened to Brett Favre? They won the first one, and then the next year they came back and lost to Denver.
Right.
So it does happen that.
Yeah.
Time around a little bit different. We'll see. Brian, do you have any other questions? You have any questions for Joe?
Oh, me? No. It's great to hear from a guy like you, Joe, just giving your insight, being in the game there. So that's cool. That's cool.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you did us a service calling in, and we loved hearing about some of those things and who you played with. And did you like Jimmy? What was it like playing for Jimmy Johnson? You were under Jimmy Johnson, right?
Well, yeah. I played for. Actually, my rookie year, I got to play for Bill Parcells. I ended up playing for Jimmy Johnson. I got to play for Jerry Glanville. All of them are great guys. The only thing I would say about Jimmy is he's a very intimidating. He's a little guy, but he's very intimidating. You'd be out on the field stretching before a game, and Jimmy's going to come to you, and he's going to say, "Hey, Joe, I need 2 big plays today from you today." So in the fourth quarter, you're looking like, "Damn, I've only made 1 play today. I got to make another play. If not, I might not have a job tomorrow morning." So that's who Jimmy was. He was a great coach, but a great motivator, and he knew how to get the best out of each guy.
Yeah, he got your respect. He knew how to get respect with his players. Right. Jerry Glanville probably cracked more jokes, huh?
He's a character. Everything that you see or read about him, it's probably true. It's probably true. He's a good guy in his own way.
Yeah, he looked good in all that black. I remember he used to wear all that black when he was
black
coaching
duster
the Falcons.
coats.
Yes. He still wears black. I saw him a few years ago, and he's still in all black.
Oh, he's still alive? Jerry Glanville? Good for him.
Oh yeah. He lives in my hometown. He lives in Knoxville now, and I see him when I go back home. Yeah.
And the tuna.
Yeah.
Was the tuna more of a tactician, or did he yell at all?
Who was that?
Bill Parcells.
Oh no. He was different. He's a very, 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 very smart guy. He's a guy he's very wise, and he's also he knows how to get the best out of. He knows how to pull the right buttons to get the best out of his players as well.
Was he soft spoken or a yeller?
He does more yelling, but it's a type of yelling that he's getting his point across. It ain't just yelling just to be yelling. It ain't just I'm not yelling just to be screaming and hollering. I'm yelling to get a point across, and he gets his point across.
That's good coaching.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well. All right. Well, we're going to sign off now. You hit us the hour, top of the hour, and thank you very much, Joe Fishback, for being on, and the best of luck to you going forward and all you're doing.
Super Bowl winner Joe Fishback, and NFL player.
Super Bowl. Hold on to that ring.
Great honor to have you on the show, and I've got word here that you've got to wear red next week. It's a recommendation from my wife.
You know what? I will wear red, but Tampa has a little red, a little orange and red as well, right?
Yeah,
that's the joke.
So
it's
I'm looking forward to a great game. I think it's going to be a really good game.
We all sure hope so. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Oh, it's been a great pleasure. It's a great honor. Thank you,
Eric Red, for the production work today, and my co-host, and also Brian Keller from Sports Rock. Check out Sports Rock. It's a great site on Facebook. Have a lot of fun with that. And what are we going to go out with? What song?
Well, I just fell in love with this Run DMC that you sent over, Chab Dog. So,
Walk
classic
This Way.
Walk This Way video. This is great.
We're gonna see the Patrick Mahomes strut and the next week. He's gonna be running circles around the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see.
Hey, run it back. Run it back.
All right, guys. It's fun as always. I love you all. Just take care.
You too, Brian. Be safe.
You too, Brian.
And we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Yep.
God bless everybody have a week.
I know what to do.
1, 2, 3, 4. Send your AC, till you're down on it, and it's sure to be a changing way.
Want to know where to